ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it? Dream Championship Wrestling, episode number 11. I can't believe we've made it this far. We have some unique things in store for you in this card, but we need to start everything off with the news. Starting the news off with Koichiro Asakawa. If you recall, in the previous episode, he suffered a severe neck injury. He was knocked unconscious. As you can see on the screen here, he does have a severe neck injury. He was recently released from the hospital. He is not cleared to wrestle, so he will not be on this card. Next piece of news, again, if you recall from the previous episode, as we were going off the air, we received note that Sofia Rodriguez was scouted by Carlos Velez as a possible female wrestler for us to sign to the company. Now, looking at Sofia, she is a freestyle wrestler, and her popularity is not great. In Latin America, she is a B, but I have to say, for a B attack and a C plus offense and a C popularity in the United States and a freestyle style of wrestling, $7,000 is just too much, so we're going to pass on Sofia. And as we get ready to jump into the management of the training center, and we're going to take a look at our merchandise, I do want to add one final piece of news. We've been kind of willy-nilly with our episodes, and since we have gotten past the 10-episode threshold, I want to get on more of a consistent release schedule now. So I think what we're going to do is every Thursday at 6:05 a.m. we will release an episode, and then every Sunday night at 6:05 p.m. we will release an episode. That doesn't mean we won't have a special in between there somewhere from time to time, but moving forward, that is the schedule that we're going to try to stick with. Okay, now jumping into the training center, let's take a look here. Let's go ahead and repair the ring doctor. He was hurt, or she was hurt. We'll just go ahead and knock all this stuff out real quick. And then take a look on possible expansion. Okay, so the only thing that we have left, or the three things, are a mat work coach, a judo coach, in the lounge. We could further upgrade something, some inexpensive upgrades, sandbag, medicine ball, balance. Well, let's go ahead and do the balance ball. And this does slightly increase our wrestlers' attack ability and their defense. And again, we want to put on the best shows possible for the fans, so a wise thing to do. All right, now, what would the mat work coach do? Again, attack and durability, which I assume is durability. I think that's just a typo. I don't think there's a shortage of characters allowed there, but so attack and durability. Somebody like a Brock Lesnar would probably really benefit from that. And maybe it's something we should do with Rob Van Dam's defeat on the last card at the hands of that filthy MMA player. We need to maybe beef up our game. Gonna get that guy back on the show. Maybe he'll be part of the December Spectacular next month. See if we can get him in here and beat the hell out of him. Judo coach, we're going to have the same thing. Increased defense, increased durability. Or I guess not the same thing. Mat coach is attack. Judo coach is defense. In the lounge. That is big. Less likely to lose trust. I do want to keep the wrestlers happy. We're going to go ahead and do this one for now. So we are already up to $100,000 roughly in expenses, and we haven't even put on a card yet. But as we're growing and making the money we're making, we got to deal with it. Let's take a look at the merch. Wow. Oh. Well, expenses are about to go way up. We sold out of everything in that last show. So unfortunately, we probably lost. Okay, well, we have racked up almost $170,000 in expenses. And what I was getting ready to say was we probably left a lot of money on the table with the last event. Now, we had a lot of folk. We had over 10,000 in attendance, and yeah, we probably lost thousands of dollars. So that's not good. That could have paid for a few salaries. So we are completely stocked up now. I mean, masks, we should be fine with that $80 ticket price. I don't think we're going to sell through 691 units. And since we are progressing and we are up to episode 11, I thought it was about time we came up with a ranking for you guys of the top wrestlers. We don't really have enough to do a really good top 10, but I thought we'd do a top 5 for you guys. So before we move on to the booking portion of the show, go ahead and take a look at our newest and first rankings. Okay, let's not forget about talent. At some point, I honestly don't know if I want to sign talent every single month because I think there is problems that can open up if you continue to grow too rapidly. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to bloat our roster. Just signing Cody Rhodes was a huge deal, so I don't think we need to hit a home run. We need just a solid worker. For instance, somebody like Nick Aldis. He would be perfect. He's a solid wrestler. His price tag is extremely cheap, but he just doesn't have the popularity. I do still want to focus on America, and then as the years go by, we will grow into other countries. But as we're embarking on our 11th month, I don't think it's time to start worrying about Europe and Japan and Latin America. We need to continue to focus on America and rising our way up the ranks. So someone like Nick isn't going to work. Finn, again, just doesn't have the popularity. They don't work for us, brother. If they don't move the needle, then we're going to pass.
1 hour later.
Okay, so I think my mind is made up. I think Noriaki. I think this is the guy that I want. I mean, Yuki is a better price tag. Noriaki is a much better wrestler, and I like the look of Noriaki. I like the age of only 23, the size. I mean, he is a perfect fit. Not overly popular in Europe, but very good popularity in America, Japan, and Latin America. So I'm going to try to sign Noriaki. And again, we are in the decision-making process here. Do we go too low? We don't get him. And you know what? If we don't sign someone this month, we just came off the Cody Rhodes signing. I don't need someone in November, so let's just try 15,000. And Noriaki shows interest but doesn't agree to terms, which means we probably could get Noriaki for the 30,000. But it's time to move on here. We've gone through the free agents long enough. All right, so with Noriaki turning us down, I think it is time to go to the Wheel of Dreams. We'll set the matchups for the tournament portion of this show. Then we'll book the rest of the matches and we'll get this thing going. All right, here we are back at the Wheel of Dreams. We have our 4 competitors that have advanced their way to round 2. Claudio Castagnoli, big win over Cody Rhodes to make it this far. Charles Young hospitalized Koichiro Asakawa to advance to the second round. Braun Strowman slapped on that big stand shoulder hold, choked out Brian Cage to advance, and Brock Lesnar faced Rhino. Another submission victory, neck hold arm lock to put Rhino away. So we are going to shuffle our 4 competitors. Slices have been shuffled. Here we go. And Claudio Castagnoli is the first selection. So we will add Claudio Castagnoli to the bracket. And this next spin is going to be big. It's going to set the second matchup as well as setting Claudio's opponent. Here we go. Brock Lesnar, Claudio Castagnoli. Whew, what a matchup that is going to be. And that also lets us know that Charles Young is going to take on Braun Strowman. But of course, for bracketing purposes, we're going to spin. And we'll see what man is the top of the bracket. And it looks like Charles Young. So I don't know, you talk about Wheel of Dreams. Is it a dream for Brock Lesnar to face Claudio Castagnoli? 7-0 in Dream Championship Wrestling, the longest win streak we've ever seen. This guy is a beast. Brock Lesnar, his nickname is the Beast, so that's going to be a fun matchup. Charles Young back on the right track. As we've mentioned multiple times, hospitalized Asakawa, big knockout victory for him. Braun Strowman, such a big, powerful man. Will Charles Young be able to manhandle Braun in that size? Will Braun be able to deal with the athletic ability and the speed of Charles Young? I can't wait for these matchups. Let's get the rest of the card booked. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the card is set. We're going to start the night off with Bo Dallas taking on Matt Jackson. Matt Jackson looking to get his second win in a row in Dream Championship Wrestling. Bo Dallas looking to get on the map to get his first ever win. And this is one of the original guys that signed with our company, which seems like back in the day, at this point, 11 months ago, one of our first 6 signings was Bo Dallas, and he has yet to get a win in singles competition or tag team competition. Next up, we mentioned him earlier. I was like, what the heck? Picked up the phone. We called Ryuji Goda. He's making a guest appearance to take on Rhino. Third match of the night, we have Brian Cage taking on Eric Rowan. Then we have Cody Rhodes making his second appearance in Dream Championship Wrestling. He is going to take on Bray Wyatt. And then we have the Wheel of Dreams, 2 matchups. Claudio Castagnoli, Brock Lesnar, followed by Braun Strowman, Charles Young. Another 6-match card. Another full house. But we had to go with a print ad this time. So we've increased expenses even more. I'll show you here real quick. If we stuck with the poster, we're close to capacity, but we're not selling out, and I'm not down with that. We need sellouts. So social media, we get close. Then the print ad, which really jacks up expenses, takes us to a full house. And unfortunately, Tommy Young is unable to referee due to his injuries that took place on the opening rounds of the Wheel of Dreams. So we have Nick Patrick filling in, and we appreciate that. Let's get this started. Well, my God, what a card that was. Average card rating of 89%. So in terms of numbers, not the best we've put on, but in terms of action, I think it was absolutely fantastic. And I will tell you this, I made an executive decision as we were going through the Wheel of Dreams, and specifically the Claudio Castagnoli Brock Lesnar match was so good that I think what I'm going to do, we'll start a separate watch list, and or a playlist, I should say, and I'm going to put all of the Wheel of Dreams matchups in their entirety. So in case you do want to check out a full match, you can see that instead of the last 2 minutes or so as I've been doing. However, on tonight's card, Wheel of Dreams Round 2, Bo Dallas started the night off trying to get his first win in Dream Championship Wrestling, and believe it or not, he didn't do it. Match evaluation 90%. He lost to Matt Jackson, who now has 2 wins in a row. Then our invite, the wonderful Ryuji Goda. We really appreciate him. He's fantastic to work with. Super nice guy, but can't get it done in the ring. Rhino puts him away with a 93% match eval. Brian Cage. Man, the rise and fall of Brian Cage. Brian Cage's biggest issue seems to be cardio. Eric Rowan, an even bigger man, but Eric Rowan able to pull it off in a pretty darn good match. Actually, in terms of match eval, the best match of the night. And then Cody Rhodes in his second match in Dream Championship Wrestling defeats Bray Wyatt. Bray just really not able to get anything going in Dream Championship Wrestling. He's a draw. He's still a fan favorite, but can't get it going. The American Nightmare takes the W. Wheel of Dreams then started. Claudio Castagnoli, ladies and gentlemen, the shocker of the night. His first loss in Dream Championship Wrestling. Claudio now 7-1, loses to the Beast, Brock Lesnar, via submission. Now, I will say this does not take Claudio out of the title picture. He was kind enough to the fans to enter the Wheel of Dreams. However, when this is over, whoever wins, which is going to be between Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar, gets that title shot against who we think possibly is going to be RVD. However, in the next card, we have a huge December card. I want to make it a special pay-per-view type event, if you will. I think I'm going to even commentate the matches, maybe just do this one time a year. There is a possibility, it's in negotiations, that on next week's final of year one, that we're not only going to see Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman, who, to wrap things up here, took out Charles Young, 92% match eval, look strong. Not only are we going to see Braun and Brock for a shot at the title, Claudio Castagnoli might get his shot against RVD on that card as well. We're going to have some invites that come in. We're going to have some other organizations' titles on the line. It is going to be huge. It's going to be really, really big. Let's go ahead and close this out. Again, we went over capacity. Fire marshals just probably, luckily I don't have to deal with them. We'll let some other folks here at Dream deal with those guys, but they can't be happy with us. But 90% match eval for the night, our average card rating. Flawless show. We're ready to book a bigger venue. No, we're not. We're not going down that road yet. News and notes from the pro wrestling world, specifically looking for WWE and AEW, or any of the people that we have invited. And, oh, that was quick. So nothing, okay, wow. A couple big things here. I mentioned that we probably shortchanged ourselves with merchandise on the October event, and I have a feeling that is exactly what we did, because our income was through the roof. $634,000 versus $250,000 in expenses. Our biggest profit to date, $376,000 for the month, which puts us over $2 million. Guys, I didn't think we'd be over $1 million in year one, let alone $2 million. The snowball effect, we just keep getting bigger and bigger. I mean, there is a slight possibility. I'm not going to look now. We're going to make that part of the big December event, the very next card that you're going to see, the very next spectacular. It's not a card. It is an absolute wrestling spectacular. we will check and see what all the organizations have done through the year. And there's a slight possibility we might have overtaken WWE and AEW in year one. But when you run things the right way, when you have a promoter, and I'm just saying this, like Kasugi survives at the helm, special things can happen. And also, on a serious note, we have gotten very lucky. We haven't had any injuries. We haven't had any no-shows. And that is a big deal. I really expected those, and now that I'm saying it, I probably jinxed myself, and they'll ruin the December Spectacular, and somebody will no-show. All right, let's move on here. We have a singles tournament with Super Lucha, and that is it, so my guys will get a little bit of a rest. RVD, as I mentioned, I throw things in here last minute, did not compete on this past card because he was suffering some injuries at the hands of that MMA clown. We gave him a rest, as well as, of course, Asakawa. They are scheduled to both be ready for the December card. Right here, we have a scouting report from Marty Sakota. He found Jiro in Japan. Bo Dallas. Well, that's interesting. Winless and Dream. He wants more money. So does Rhino. So does Braun. Anybody else? Oh, come on. Jiminy Christmas. I'm going to have to write these down. So Big Trouble wants more money. Eric Rowan wants more money. Rhino wants more money. Okay. Claudio Castagnoli and Matt Jackson have been feuding for a while. Hostilities finally exploded between them. The industry is in an uproar. Boy, Claudio seemingly feuding with everybody. Let's not forget he's also in a feud, excuse me, with Rob Van Dam. So, holy moly. Claudio is really making things exciting here in Dream Championship Wrestling. You know, at least record-wise and what we've seen in the ring, the top wrestler that we've had. This guy is big, he's strong, he's fast, he's athletic. He's got the array of power moves, the high-flying moves. There's nothing that Claudio Castagnoli can't do. So, I mean, you talk about a fantastic early-on signing. Claudio Castagnoli is that. Okay, Claudio and Matt. Well, as we said, we think it's going to be Claudio and RVD on the next card. You're going to have to tune in to find out. All right, but I think that is it for us here in November. We're going to get December going here. You'll see that on episode number 11, the special event, the Dream Championship Wrestling Spectacular. As always, if you have not already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are a little bit over 200 subscribers. Oh, and actually, let me do this for you guys before we head out of here. Take a look at this. A little something that we put together just to show you the ratings comparison between Dream and some of the other promotions that are going on right now. All right, so looking at last week's ratings, I thought you might find this interesting. WWE SmackDown garnered 2.4 million viewers. Next up was WWE Raw with 1.97. AEW Dynamite came in third with 957,000 viewers. NXT Heatwave garnered 723K, followed by AEW Rampage. NWA Power, we took that off of YouTube. They garnered 19,000 viewers last week. And Dream Championship Wrestling. I think that's a typo. It's supposed to be 151,000? No, I'm getting word in my ear that it is 151 viewers. So, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, like the video. We are way behind the other organizations, so any help would be appreciated. I appreciate you guys for tuning in nonetheless, even if you don't want to subscribe, even if you don't want to leave the fire emojis in chat, letting us know what you rate the card on a 1 to 5 fire emoji. I appreciate you nonetheless. You guys are wonderful. And you know what? We'll see you next time.